Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. In today's episode, this is to the general public. Stop going outside and doing nasty stuff. Now, I hadn't had nothing nasty happen to me today, although I did go outside. I got me some fresh air. But overall, there have been times where I've been outside and people have done nasty stuff, and I'm like, fam, do you not realize that you are not the only person on this planet that we call Earth? Now, it's one thing if that was the case. If I'm the only person on Earth, bro, I'm walking up and down the streets, no clothes on, exposing myself to the outside world. But that's not the case. There's rules, there's laws, there's regulations, there's things that I have to follow by when I go out in public. Now, to explain to you guys how I am when I go out in public, I'm very careful on what I touch. I don't, I for one don't take my mask off. After the pandemic and COVID and all that stuff, I can't. The one time I had my mask off, I was running for the bus, and I pulled my mask down so I can breathe better. And I forgot to put my mask back up, but I was like, okay, I'm not going to just ride out this whole bus ride without my mask or just keep it down. No, I put my mask right back on my face, and I'm like, I'm not taking it off until I reach the region of my house. That's the only time I'm taking my mask off. But until then, if I am out, I don't care if I'm even out for a brief moment. There have been times where I have hung out with people. I will bring my mask. We won't even get out the car. But just in case that there's a time where it's like, dang, let's say if I'm hanging out with a friend, right? Or family, they get out their car, somehow, some way, twist their ankle on some randomness, right? Twist their ankle. Now I gotta be the one to go inside, and yeah, so I bring my mask everywhere I go. There's rare occasions I think I had to say where I did go somewhere, but I didn't get out the car and I didn't bring my mask. But other than that, no, if I'm gonna be outside for a long period of time, I'm bringing my mask. So, anyways, it's simple stuff like that. Wear your mask when you're out in public. I know now, COVID ain't as serious as people, as it was at one point. But overall, though, if you know that you're going to be that person, coughing, sneezing, making noises that shouldn't even be coming from your mouth and stuff, and things that's flying out and all that, nah, bro. Keep that business indoors. I don't know how many times where I've went outside and then people are coughing, people are sneezing. They don't come. Bro, the first day when I remember the first time they had sent me home early because of COVID. So I'm getting on the bus. I was just kind of because I wasn't treating it serious myself. So I'll admit I wasn't. But as the time progressed on, I did. But I do remember, so I'm kind of just walking around. I think I remember I went to the Nike store. I wasn't tripping about the door handle. I went to this other shoe store that I wanted to check out. Wasn't tripping about nobody around me. But anyways, I'm going to the bus. And as soon as I'm getting on, this lady is coughing, bro. Coughing. Not covering her mouth. Did not cover her mouth. So this is something that I do when I know I'm going to be walking in that region and I can't really find another way around it. I hold my breath. I kid you guys not. I hold my breath. I do not care how long. If I'm standing in that area, I am holding my breath. People, if you've ever seen me out in public and you've seen me walk, but I just start breathing real hard and I look all out of breath and things, it's because I was holding my breath. Because people want to get out in public and start coughing and stuff. And I'm like, fam, people, stop that. Stop sneezing and coughing out in public. And it's there's no, and the crazy thing is you could easily sneeze into your elbow, all right? The nastiest is when they sneeze or cough in their hand, and then it's then they try to throw their hand out oh, hi, my name is such and such. I don't care if it's literally my crush, the most attractive woman in the world, the richest person in the world. If you cough or sneeze in your hand and you throw your hand out, I'm sorry, but you saw what you did, right? And you know what kind of era we're in, right? We're in COVID era. That means that you could potentially have something in you, and then you shake my hand. Now, I done went and grabbed something, not paying attention, and then next thing you know, somehow, some way, whatever you had done got into my nose, my mouth, my eyes, my ears, my skin pores, my imagination. Bro, like, even thinking about it, I know that that's like, oh, I'm gonna catch something from it, you know? So I'm like, nah, man. I'm like, here, or just carry some. That's what I've been meaning to do, and I always forget to, but I need to start taking my hand sanitizer with me, because no, man, yeah, there's just people out there that, yeah, you know, they just go out and about and they don't really care about their surroundings. And then it's like, do you not realize, like I said in the beginning of this podcast episode, do you not realize that you are not the only person here on Earth? All right, so it's weird, man. But no, like, I can think back even at my job, like before the COVID and the pandemic and stuff. I can even think of like stuff besides that, where it's like people get out in public and they want to do that. I think I've talked on one of them before. Well, one's a story, and then the other one is just something that everybody always did for some reason, instead of just getting up, excusing themselves to the bathroom, and then doing it in there. In the bathroom, I don't care. But while I'm eating, it is, especially if I'm eating something that looks somewhat similar to your snot, I'm not trying to hear you blow your nose and I'm eating eggs or something, because then I'm gonna look at my eggs and be like, you know what? Don't even want to eat no more. There's been times where, like, no, people nose just sounds all messed up, right? And they want to get the blowing it while I'm eating. They're in the eating. So how my cafe was set up, so they had the area where you ordered stuff. So it was just like somewhat big area where you go in there, stand in like each individual lines, or if it's like the salad or deli bar, you just get up there and get what you want to get. So anyways, and then the outside part is the dining area where people just be sitting down and eat, because they had like a gang of tables in there. And yeah, so overall it was just, you know, but it wasn't like a relatively big, like it was like all the way in the distance. Like, nah, it was, you know, it was somewhat big area and whatnot. But anyways, so people will get to like wanting to sit in your area, right? Like, not like at the same table, but maybe like 3 tables down or something, right? So anyways, they want to get in that area, in my region. I'm not saying, like, you know, while I'm out there, you can't eat out there, but I'm just saying, like, at least just be respectful to people's surroundings. Because imagine if I get out there and I start doing something nasty. Like, let's say I decide to pull my pants down and poop in the middle of the floor. Or let's say I decide to puke all across all the tables and stuff. That's gonna be stuff that people find nasty. So that's how I feel when I'm eating my scrambled eggs, all right, bright and early in the morning. Let's just say, for an example, some stuff went down at the corner store, so I couldn't get a Red Bull, and I couldn't fully wake myself up. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just have myself a good old breakfast. So anyways, I'm sitting down eating, all of a sudden you just hear somebody with their nose talking about like doing noises like that, but it's not coming from their mouth, it's their nose that is making that noise. And then it's snot, mucus, all that stuff built up in them, and they feel like the whole world, or at least myself and anybody else that's sitting out in that diner, they want to, or the dining area, they want to just sit there and like hear them blowing their, I don't care about you or your nose. So it's like, fam, go in the bathroom with that. I don't know how many times where it's like and that's what I think what I had ended up doing was listening to my music, because I was like, no, this is crazy. I'm like, people just getting out here blowing their nose, and it's like, fam, like, I'm trying to eat. That mess is nasty. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear any of that. But it's just, you know, there's people out there where it's like they don't particularly care, so they're like, you know what, no, I'm just gonna go out. But people, they always did stuff at my job. Like, this wasn't nasty, but it involved some nastiness. It was people getting nasty and things. But anyway, but not like that, like nasty like what I'm been talking on, but like, you know, when a mom and a dad, when they meet and then, you know, they end up having a child, that type of nasty and stuff. So anyways, no, like, but yeah, like I said, it ain't like a gross story, but no, just kind of getting off topic a little bit. I'll never forget when this one girl, I talked on this before, but for those that are new to my channel and you hadn't heard this story, so there was this one woman that came through, and she was just going and just grabbing food, and it's like, we hadn't even opened yet. And so I'm like, oh man, like, this food's not ready to be served. I'm like, you just gonna have to wait a little bit longer. And she's like, oh, but I'm pregnant. And I'm thinking to myself, like, that's not my child. So what does that have to do with me? That is your child. You should have been thinking about this beforehand, before you even came down here. How are you going to put the responsibility of your unborn child on me? I will never ever in life forget that. Cause I know most people are gonna probably. I feel like if I might turn this into like a TikTok story time just to overall hear out what people have to say. Cause I know there's gonna probably be people all like, oh, you don't have no heart. You know, you're heartless. You're out here. This woman's pregnant, and you could have very well let her have something. Okay, all right, that's true. That's true. I very well could have allowed her to have something, right? Why did she not bring nothing from home? You mean to tell me she ain't got no food at the house? You're pregnant. You should have food at the house. You being pregnant ain't got nothing to do with me. And it never will. Unless we somehow, some way, all right, we decide we want to have a kid. I don't know you like that, lady. I think she was married. So I'm like, that would just be weird. And I'm like, I'm not even trying to be in no situation like that. I'm like, nah, man, that's like some it seems like it should be like a Lifetime movie or a BET movie or something, you know. I say BET because of myself, but anyways, no, because I don't think, well, no, it'll probably be like a Lifetime movie, because I'm like, yeah, it just, maybe if there was like a, I don't know, what other channels where they be posting like movies, like, anyways, moving on. But yeah, it's like, what does that have to do with me? Like, nothing. So, but yeah, it was like, it's just things like that where I'm like, people at my old job, bruh, I can honestly just do like a series of videos, or even come out with a TV series of how people carried on at my old job. Like, it was insane some days. But anyways, getting back to like the nasty and gross stuff. But then the story that I wanted to tell you guys. So no, this involved a coworker, and I'm like, fam, I don't need to see that. I did not need to think about it, none of that. But it's like, why would you get in front of me and do that? You know, like, the thing is this, there's not too many things that will gross me out. Like, there is, and this is something that I've dealt with myself, but no, I'll never forget when there was an employee at my job where she started having a nosebleed. That didn't gross me out, because for one, I wasn't eating, I wasn't drinking, I wasn't doing anything. So I was like, but that's something that I've dealt with myself. I've had nosebleeds before, you know. So that's why I'm like, I wasn't even tripping about it. I remember I ran to go get her some paper towels, gave it to her and stuff, and I was like, yeah, you know, I was chilling. I went home and I was all like, you know, I don't know what she got going on, but I'm like, if this is the beginning of apocalypse, I'm going home, so at least I could be with family if the zombie apocalypse decides to start. But so anyways, yeah, but there's stuff like that. You know, I've cut myself at work, so yeah, I've seen my own blood, and it doesn't. The thing is like, when I see my own blood, there was a time I remember when I was in school, and I remember I cut my not cut, but I remember I fell and I hit my hand on the ground really hard, and it had split my thumb open. Like, that's how hard I had hit the ground. And the crazy thing was, I didn't even feel it. I more so felt like this bulky phone I had penetrating my leg. Like, oh my god, like, I felt that phone go into my soul, bro. My soul was sore from that. But anyways, but no, like, I do remember it was like my thumb was bleeding a lot. And I think it was just, I don't know, like, maybe it was just the amount of, like, well, it wasn't even a whole lot. I don't know, maybe it was me, but I was like, look, I started feeling a little bit lightheaded. I'm like, dang, man. But the thing was, it didn't even seem like it was bleeding that much. Like, it seemed like it was relatively enough, but not it. Maybe it just reached that bare minimum of like wooziness. Like, when you lose blood, like, and you get a little woozy, maybe it reached like the bare minimum. Which, if that was the case, okay. But if not, then I don't know what was going on. But it's not like I can't look at my own blood, bro. I've seen my blood a lot. It's somewhere. It's like from nosebleeds, cuts, freaking what else. Yeah, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you see it, and it's like, man, it's crazy at times. But yeah, it's just, but it doesn't make me like grossed out or woozy, or I'm like, oh, I'm sick, I can't look at my own blood. Like, no, I don't get like that. But so anyways, getting back to this story. So it's me and this coworker, and she was sitting in front of me. We're eating, talking on random stuff, right? And then I wasn't really paying attention. And then I think I had looked up, and I started looking at her, and then she was picking a scab off of her hand, and I'm like, why do you have to do that in front of me? Like, look, there's many things that you can do, right? Or even no, there's even one time where it was like I just felt like it was just too much of a personal conversation. But the one coworker was telling me how they were getting the hemorrhoid cream, and I'm like, why did you need to tell me? That's something that I would not tell nobody. That's something that I would not tell nobody, nobody. And I'm like, man, bro, it's wild what like you go through on a day-to-day basis. But I'm saying it's stuff like that where I know, like, there's people probably out there that get woozy off of hearing about blood. So that's why, like, if I know that, I won't talk about blood in front of that person, But unless like some stuff happens and then they ask me, and then I'm like, oh yeah, it's like cut my thumb really bad today at work, and it's like, yeah, it's like blood. There's like, did you bleed? I'm like, well, yeah, it's like it was a pretty gnarly cut and stuff. And I'm like, oh my god, I can't hear it. And I'm like, okay, well, you asked for it, but it's not like I just be going out my way and just telling people. Or even, no, this is something that I have been like finding like a resistance to: broken bones. Like, I remember as a kid, it didn't really faze me too much, but I don't know, like at some point in time when I got older, when I hear a bone or see a bone like break, yeah, it's something like, cause no, just recently there is this YouTuber named Aiden Ross, and his security guard was arm wrestling another YouTuber, and he broke his arm, and you can hear his arm like snap. And it's stuff like that. It's wild, man. It's seriously so wild. And so, yeah, but it's like it's stuff where it's like, I try to like keep far away from it. I guess like with that video, it's just I just overall want to see. But yeah, it's like at times though, it's just it's not, you can't really avoid it, because there's people out there where it's like, no, you gonna see this nastiness and stuff, and it's like, yeah, that's why I try avoiding just overall people, because yeah, there's just at times where it's like they get out in public and they don't know how to act and stuff. So, but anyways, but yeah, this is just your sign to anybody out there that's overall being just out there nasty for no reason. Stop. Just stop. Like, ain't nobody trying to go outside and see you being nasty and things. So, but anyways, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're viewing this on YouTube. Make sure you follow or subscribe if you're viewing this on a podcast streaming service. Make sure you subscribe to one of my 46 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Instagram at TMossBoss. And make sure you follow my Facebook page at TMossBoss fan page. I feel like I don't say it. But well, no, I know I don't say it. If you're wanting to find one of my 46 YouTube channels, you could just go to my main channel, TMossBoss, and then all the channels will be there. There's still some channels that I gotta add, but yeah, I'll eventually at some point in time we'll add those channels to the main channel. But anyways, and then also, if you are purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off your first purchase, and make sure you use my promo code for Poggers energy drinks. I think it's like relatively a newer brand and stuff. If not, it's a brand. Overall, they sell energy drinks. If you're wanting to get 10% off of your first purchase, you can use my promo code TMossBoss. And yeah. Go drink some Poggers energy drinks. So, but anyways, well, they got like an energy powder, and then they got like a sleep powder. The sleep powder I'm curious about, because I'm like, there's some nights where I can't really sleep, and so yeah, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna test it out. I'm gonna test out both drinks one of these days. But anyways, that video will be coming out soon. So, but anyways, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and for listening, and peace.